Okay, it's beer o'clock again on the Real Ale Guide. Today's beer is a beer from the Flying Dog Brewing Company, and it's their Pearl Necklace Oyster Stout, coming in at 5.5% ABV. Lovely label on this one. Beautiful woman with a nice pearl necklace on her. Just the type of woman I think that should have a pearl necklace. Right, there's the Flying Dog cap. Let's get into a glass. See what it looks like, smells like, tastes like. Flying Dog Brewery, Brewing Company, from the USA. This beer was kindly given to me by my good friends at the Bottle Shop Cardiff. On Twitter it's CF24 Bottle Shop. Be sure to check them out. The beer's poured out jet black in colour. It's a one finger creamy coloured head, tanned, it's fizzing away, nice level of carbonation. Looks to be a bottle conditioned beer. There's little bits and pieces floating around. There is some left in the bottle, so let's get a nose on this fantastic looking oyster stout. A little light on the nose, but roasted malt coming out. So hints of caramel. Smells a little hoppy, so cheers everyone. It's kind of beer where I was in the first taste, things might change, but in the first taste, kind of going along, waiting and waiting. There's hints of flavours, but then there's an onrush of coffee and chocolate. From the roasted malt there's a bitterness, and the flavour from coffee and chocolate is right on the back end from the roasted malt. So there's a big back end, but it's the first taste. There wasn't much to start with, there wasn't much of a middle. It's a little fruity from the hops to begin with. Reminded me of a traditional British hop, in all honesty. And then the middle is quite fruity. But then on the end, it's just a big, as I say, coffee, chocolate, caramel, hints of licorice. A bit smoked, it's a bit smoked there as well. But if I'm honest, it's not a huge beer. It's not. Well, it's 5.5%, so it's sessionable. It's a sessionable stout. It's a good stout. It's a very good stout. But it's been brewed to an English style, I believe. We'll read up on the label in a moment. Carbonation fizzes on your tongue a little bit as the beer hits your mouth. Hits your tongue, it kind of springs off it. It's not too carbonated as it sinks to your stomach. It's not filling you out. It's a nice part, a nice little piece of the puzzle, as they say. Mouthfeel. Let's talk about the mouthfeel. It's a little thin for a stout too. It's a very refreshing stout. If you wanted it to be a refreshing stout, I would say go for this. But a 5.5% ABV, I think I'd want a little bit more body. A little bit more body to the beer. That kind of rich, creamy, oyster stouty kind of mouthfeel, that thick mouthfeel. It's just not there, unfortunately. I think that's what's, for me, is the key ingredient, or the key part of this beer that's missing, where I think I'd want it a little bit more full bodied. But there we are, we can't have it all. Perhaps they just brewed it to be 5.5% and they wanted it sessionable. Water, malted barley, oysters, hops and yeast. So there's oysters in there, but I don't pick that up at all in the beer, in the flavour. And there's no real, different Frederick in Maryland, there's no real description either on the beer. It is, the website is flyingdogbrewery.com, check them out. But I'm going to give this my final thoughts and a rating. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for the Real Ale Guide. Not enough body for me in the beer. Not enough flavour up front. Not enough going on. It's all on the back end. I want a nice kind of, I want the flavours to pull all the way through, from the front of the palate to the middle of the palate and at the end of the palate. It's just not happening. So 7 out of 10 for the Real Ale Guide. Check out Flying Dog Brewery. Good beer range there from them in America. Thanks for watching me, the Real Ale Guide. Put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe if you like. And cheers.